Hello and welcome back to another episode. Now today I want to talk about one of my favourite novels. It's a book written by the author Robert Rankin and it's an incredibly clever, funny, witty story set in a world which, to be honest, I want to visit. I really do want to visit this particular setting that he's created. Now, Robert Rankin is an author in the realms of people like Terry Pratchett, Tom Holt, and Douglas Adams. He's an author who is hilarious, incredibly clever, and not only invites you to laugh with him, but also to think with him in the stories that he creates. Now, this particular story that I want to talk about today, it is called The Hollow Chocolate Bunnies of the Apocalypse, and it is absolutely superb. Imagine Toy Town, but Toy Town in a future where it's been allowed to grow into an urban sprawl, Toy City. And Toy City has a seedy underbelly. It's kind of like an LA noir kind of scenario, or a noir film kind of scenario, where, for example, Mother Goose runs the city brothel. There are certain powerful people, so-called pre-adolescent poetic personalities who have grown rich from the nursery rhymes told in their honour. People like Humpty Dumpty, for example, Little Miss Muffet, Mary Mary Quite Contrary, and Old King Cole. These personalities are wealthy beyond your wildest dreams because they featured in famous nursery rhymes. The city is run on clockwork technology. All the engines, for example, in the cars have clockwork engines, and the toys are, as you might imagine, there are teddy bears, there are tin toys around, and all these different imaginative setups play out in the most beautiful, elegant, enjoyable, delicious way. For example, there's a bar in the story which is run by a tin toy who's called Tinto because the Y on his chassis, on his body, has been rubbed off over time. So he's no longer known as a tin toy, he is Tinto. In the story, you are actually following the adventures of the protagonist, Jack, who is a human being who's found himself in Toy City. And he's found himself trying to fill the boots of a private detective. Now, the private detective has his favourite teddy bear, but of course it's not just a teddy bear, it is a bear who is a living being called Eddie the Bear, and Eddie the Bear is a wonderful creation. He is both cute, cuddly, charming and sleazy all at the same time, and all he wants in life is to have opposable thumbs. If you think about it, teddy bears don't have thumbs, they just have paws, and he's desperate for those thumbs. Will he get them in this story? Well, you have to read it to find out. Now, I don't want to spoil too much of what happened in this story, but what I will say is that these PPPs, these pre-adolescent poetic personalities, are being murdered in horrible ways. Humpty Dumpty, for example, is boiled to death in his own swimming pool, and the only clues that are being left behind in these grisly murders are chocolate bunnies, hollow chocolate Easter egg type bunnies. It's just a magnificent story. Now, what I will do is I'll read a short little excerpt from the book. Official Munchkin bookmark, yeah. So let's see. Jack eased himself carefully around the desk and settled down onto the chair that stood beside it. The chair lacked comfort. Jack turned gently around to face a window that lacked a pane of glass. He turned back, took in a ceiling fan that lacked a blade and a carpet that lacked a pattern. Jack turned once more towards the window and raised his eyes, which pained him just a little bit, and that's because they'd been out drinking the night before. A Venetian blind, no doubt lacking a slat or two, was fastened in the up position, but strung to the cord at ceiling height and dangling by the neck was Eddie Bear. "Oh no!" cried Jack, leaping from the chair and shinning onto the desk which lacked a leg, top that lacked a support. It gave with a hideous crack and Jack fell through it. He was only slightly dazed this time, and his eyes soon reopened to find a big round face looming at him once again. "What did you do that for?" asked Eddie. "The governor will be very upset when he returns to see what you've done to his antique desk." "You were trying to hang yourself." Jack beat away bits of the desk, getting splinters in his fingers. "I was saving you." "Ah," said Eddie, deluming his face. "Ah, no. I was sobering up. I hang myself in the upright position, then rely on natural seepage through the feet. Stone cold sober again, you see. Doesn't work for you meatheads though, does it? You might at least say sorry. Why? I didn't break the desk." "Oh, never mind." Jack climbed once more to his feet. "I have such a hangover," he said, and looking up once more. "How did you manage to climb up to that cord in the first place?" "Practice," said Eddie. "You need a drink." "No, I need breakfast and the toilet." "Ah, the joys of the human digestive system," said Eddie. You should have a drink though. Bill's hangover cure. His own special concoction. There's some in the desk drawer. Well, what's left of it." And that's kind of the tone that this book has all the way through. It's playful, it's naughty. There is, for example, I do believe some slightly raunchy scenes in there, and it pulls no punches. But all the while, it is very much a toy world, which has just grown and developed. And the question is, who's in charge? Where's the toy maker gone? What's going on? What's the relationship between this toy maker and whoever's doing the killings of the PPPs? Well, I don't want to spoil any of that for you. Safe to say that this is a magnificent story. So imaginative, so funny, and also, as I say, it really got me thinking in high school, thinking about actually the relationship between the stories which have been told for generations, stories, for example, like Humpty Dumpty, and how you can play with them today in a really clever way. Now, there's actually a follow-up to this book. It's called The Toyminator, and it's well worth a read as well. But I can't recommend highly enough The Hollow Chocolate Bunnies of the Apocalypse. Like I say, I first came across it in high school, and I did actually used to have the hardback copy. It's got like a black cover. I lent that to someone, and they never gave it back. Ooh. But it's just wonderful, absolutely wonderful. I used to take this book everywhere. Took it on the bus, on the train. Took it to Chester and back when I was, doing my trips to try and get an exotic computer game or something. This book is just so good, so good. So if you get a chance, definitely give it a go. The paperback really isn't too expensive. You can get it off Amazon for not too much, and it should be in larger bookstores. Certainly, it's here in the UK. It may not be, for example, in the US easily. I don't know. You'll have to go looking for it. But Robert Rankin, The Hollow Chocolate Bunnies of the Apocalypse. Give it a go. There's also stories such as Sex, Drugs and Sausage Rolls and The Voodoo Handbag. So Ian Rankin, like I say, is a very quirky writer, but so clever. And I have to say, I think his greatest creation is this toy city, this noir, beautiful city. Noir, and yet in primary colours. How clever is that? Just so cool. Anyway guys, hopefully this has been an interesting video. Sort of like a recommendation video, I suppose. But you will not regret it. If you're into this kind of story, just give it a go. You won't. You'll thank me. You'll be sending me emails going, "Oh, thank you so much. This book is amazing," and I'll go, yes it is. Anyway, as ever, until next time, please do take care. Bye bye.